Alrighty. Avatar. I guess we'll just make it public because I want people's opinion on it. I want people to go test it. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is 2 dudes, 1 deck, bro.
Yeah. Now hit edit mode. You'll like it a lot better.
Edit mode. Where is it?
Right up there by the there you go.
Okay.
Now underneath them you can hit the plus or the minus to add them to the deck or take them out of the deck.
Okay, that makes it a lot easier because I would just have 2 tabs.
Yeah, that's what I did until I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, this is better.
Okay, so I had put some thought into this while I was sleeping, and then I was like, I gotta stop. You gotta fucking make a video. So the whole purpose of the deck is to try to force out as many lands as possible, as quickly as possible. So Hob, we know we wanted. And something I remember about, so we think 4, right?
Yeah, probably, starting out.
He's also ordinary.
Ah, yeah. So
which means he can be going.
Oh, we have to go Earth because it's the Geomancer too, so that makes it perfect.
So you think 4 or
I think 4.
And we should
take advantage of the common sense itself, so we'll probably want to put more commons in.
Yeah, I was thinking like probably Berry is a good kill spell to have, and it's an ordinary that can be searched. And then is her name Vivian?
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like,
now the cool thing that I just learned about this the other day is it has all of the effects of all of the mortals, or all abilities of all avatars and spellcasters in the realm.
Yeah.
Even when she's in your hand.
How does that?
So like I saw a guy do a thing about I can't remember his name. It was a video, and he had talked about it. It's an infinite combo, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to do it, but there's a way to basically have infinite untaps.
But if there's a Grand Master Wizard, we could play her and it would draw 3?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So think about this, right? So Vivian, the Enchantress, right, has all of the abilities of all spellcasters, okay?
Yeah.
Standing Stones makes everything there a spellcaster.
So if we put it on Hob, Hob was standing there.
Yes, Hob would be a spellcaster. You could cast her. She could then untap something.
So we need to go ahead and put Standing Stones in.
It's an elite, so you can add 2, which is good for him. Okay, now the cool thing about this is that there is a mortal, or there's a spirit that says if a mortal has died, you can cast it for free.
Do you know which one that is?
Something spirit or banshee.
Mortal. If I type in the keyword, will it work? Oh, I spelled mortal wrong.
0. Just type in 0.
Like the actual
no,
word?
No. The number. Keening banshee.
I love this card, so.
So here's the thing, right? It all depends on Standing Stones.
So if this is standing on Standing Stones,
and a mortal has died, then you get to cast Vivian for free.
Oh.
Okay. So then there's another one, the one that bounces anything when it comes into play.
The changeling.
Yes.
And why would we want this?
Because if it is okay, so go ahead and just this is just me like spitballing here because this is what I kind of saw, but this is something that we can do with it. Okay.
Okay.
It requires us having Hob.
Uh-huh.
It requires us having this, and it requires us having the Fae or the Banshee and a mortal dying.
Okay.
Okay. If we do that, we have infinite untaps with the Geomancer.
I see.
Because you can play this, and if it's on that site, it's a spellcaster, right?
Right.
So then Vivian comes into play for free. She can bounce herself, but she gets all of the Genesis abilities of everything that is in play on those Standing Stones. So she comes into play, gets all of the Genesis abilities. She can bounce herself, and then do all of the Genesis abilities, and then come back down for free again, and do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
Okay, so what do we do with that though? So
I don't know. I have no idea. But that's just what I was. Okay. That's just what I wanted you to like. I wanted to show that to you.
Okay, we'll think about changing it.
Yeah.
I don't want to lean too heavily into water.
Yeah. Wait. You don't like water?
It's not that I don't like water. It's just that we already have 3 colors.
Well, I don't like water, but that's because I think it's nasty and it tastes weird.
It's because you drink from the tap, bro.
Ah, no, I drink Dr. Pepper, but we Dr. Pepper syrup runs through my veins.
Okay, so what were there's something else I think that was important. So
Okay, so we don't. So realistically, it's just the helpful hop that we need. We don't need the standing stones or the Keening Banshee, right? And if we're gonna utilize the Vivian, we can. But I mean, the Vivian being around standing stones is very important. So, like, if we're gonna do that whole thing, then we have to consider running sleep, and then we have to consider running what was it? No, dream state or something, and then we have to consider running the one that lets us look at the top 7.
okay, I think the Vivian, Hob, and Standing Stones is pretty good because
Hob says nearby, right?
yeah. So we do have to be cautious about that because Geomancer's ability is also has to be a nearby rebel to be able to auto place it.
Okay. So there's another site that I want you to look at then.
Okay.
There's
Geistwood, right?
it's a unique. No, it's not Geistwood.
Yeah, but we need Geistwood.
Yeah, probably.
So a unique.
It's a unique site, yeah. And it's gonna be keep going, go down. I'll know it as soon as I see it. As soon as I see it. I lied. I don't remember. I didn't see it.
What's the ability?
It has something to do with the void and it being adjacent to everything around it.
You're talking about.
Is it an elite site?
It's. I know which one you're talking about.
That one. Top left. No. Top left. That one. Right there. Units can move between this site and any void as though they were adjacent. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, this will send you to the void.
Because if you were standing in... my thought was if you were standing in that with the Geomancer, everything around you in the void would have been adjacent. So you could, like, put them anywhere, basically.
Sounds crazy if it would work. I feel like I think this might have been actually as far as I got. Hob, Vivian, Geistwood, and Common Sense. And then I was thinking maybe we need to include Philosopher's Stone and a mix. We need Aqua Mix to get Hob out early.
You put air mix in, you didn't put water mix in. If we're using the mixes, then we should probably use at least 4 waters. 4 waters lets you cast Vivian for 1 mana, basically.
Oh, 4 waters.
Yeah, because it doesn't care about threshold.
It's spelled out.
Yeah, it's spelled out.
I'm trying to. Let's see.
So we want the dex to ramp, right? That's all we want it to do.
All right, and we're gonna force out giant creatures, but of course we need smaller and mid-tier creatures to hold off because.
How about the Frontier Settlers?
That's the one that plays the side, yeah.
Yes. And then moves to it.
I was thinking that we wouldn't want to put other ramp cards in there to delight because we don't want to just draw nothing but things that give us sights and nothing strong enough to be able to take care of problems. The whole point is having both him being untapped from Hob and then Vivian being able to be placed somewhere else and then her to use the ability to change rebels. So we need Stars of Ur.
Yeah, that's an easy include. Can't believe neither one of us thought of that before.
I was thinking we might want to use Self-Same.
Yes, because it can come in as a copy of Vivian or Hob.
Yeah, it's versatile, and it's basically the same cost as
Hob. It is the same cost as Hob.
I think it does have double threshold. I know we're gonna need aqueducts. So.
Yeah, definitely need aqueducts. For sure. Atlas Wanderers probably wouldn't be bad if we're trying to get the Geomancer into places where you can add more rubble to places.
Yeah, without forcing them.
Like Atlas Wanderers can move the...
And they're bigger too, so...
Yeah, it can move the site that the Geomancer is on, and then you can play its site and put a rubble somewhere close by. That way you're not having to move the avatar, but at the same time, moving the avatar sometimes is the problem too. We don't want bedrock, right?
Not
we might want
necessarily.
bedrock. Can't be moved or altered.
I don't know. We'll look at lands when we're finished with that.
I think should we give ourselves like a major limit? Like we can only use 2 elements, or we can only use 2 elements, or we can only like use so many uniques or something, or are we just like going at it?
I'm okay with going at it. I'm okay with going to 3 elements because we have
well,
the
Keening Banshee's not really needed though, right?
Alright, we're not necessarily needing this.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know if we're gonna have mortals in the deck yet.
Yeah. Well, Vivian is immortal, but
Yeah.
browse. We need browse. And then there was, what was the other one? Dream State or something?
Dream Quest.
Dream Quest.
What are we at so far? So we got 20. We have 23. So we still have 37.
And I think we can probably work on the numbers a little bit there, because with us having 4 common sense, any one of these can be just a single copy that we don't need multiple of. You know what I mean? Like, obviously having 3 or 4 berries is a good idea. Having 4 helpful hops is probably a good idea. Are we trying to go like control with this, or are we just trying to get as rampy as possible?
We can use it as a form of control itself, right? So if we can push forward and get the land border out to where they cannot put lands forward and take control of the board that way. I want, in like the dream scenario, we starting hand, Aquamix, Hob, and probably like either another spell or creature, and we want to try to just get 2, 3, or maybe even 4 lands ahead of our opponent, to where we're able to cast such large creatures that they really can't do much about it.
So do we want to add the, like, as far as the land base goes, do we want to add the towers and have them in abundance so that we're ramping at least once on turn 1, 2, or 3 or whatever?
Yeah, possibly. If we're gonna slide air in too, then I'm pretty
we have
sure
air for Dream Quest and Browse.
Yeah, and Unlikely Alliance is a fantastic card, in my opinion. Like, if you need card draw, that card should just be in your deck. Because, I mean, we got Ordinary here, Elite, and Uniques already. So we're going to end up covering all the bases.
I 100% think that if we're doing this, then we need Queen of Midland, too.
For draw cards in case they get ahead of us. Midland, we can
get that threshold with 4 waters, or we can get that threshold with Mix Air. That's our Mix Aqua. That's basically the only way we'll ever be able to play her. But she only untaps a minion.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
and none of our stuff is...
Well, Vivian,
we could use her to do Vivian, and then tap Vivian again to use Geomancer's ability to replace a Rebel.
Yeah. And it has all the printed abilities, so you could even... Vivian could tap to play a land or play a site, and then they would both trigger. Well, no, only she would trigger for the Rebel.
So we go ahead.
Do we go add Queen of Midland or add Queen Guinevere?
Guinevere.
I think Guinevere is probably okay. I mean, I don't foresee us actually like using her that often, but if she untaps something and just lets us attack again with the big dudes, it's probably okay, right? Because we're gonna eventually get the big dudes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's probably not a terrible thing.
The only way we'd have to add fire to the deck, or use, I don't know how we, because I don't want to waste 4 waters getting something small like that, because to use her, then we would have to have the other components already on the board, and I feel like that might be a little too complicated.
What if you just added, since we're 3 colors, why don't you just add the other 2 mixes? Because that also works for her.
Does it remove the threshold entirely?
Yeah. Yeah, all the mixes do. That's why I used them in the night deck that I had. Like, click on your Mix Aqua there.
Okay, so it would remove
all of the threshold. Yeah. You could play her for 1 mana.
Let's think about it, and if we come back around, because I don't want to load it up with mixes either. Because I want it to be a creature-focused deck.
Okay.
And if we think it's alright, I mean, like, maybe we'll end up with things that will help us out. But, like, if the end goal is to get a fuck ton of land, so you shouldn't need... This is just to help us get Hob early, right?
Yeah.
Or self-same.
What it seems like, though, is that we're trying to do everything fast. Like, really early, right?
Yeah.
So, what happens if we get slowed down? Like, what happens if we go up against a witch and she makes our spells more expensive?
We play more lands than her.
Or if we go up against a battle mage who literally just builds a bridge to us.
We can put like things like Castle Hunt in. Castle Hunt is a fantastic deterrent. You know, you have to deal with it or you're going to start taking damage. And
Are
then,
there any super defensive Earthlands?
I don't like Free City and stuff is.
Free City's zero
Yeah.
threshold.
There's the one that will make them take damage.
That one's probably decent for sure because it is Earth. Bramble, something. Briar Patch, yeah. And then you probably want to have the thicket too, so they can't shoot projectiles in.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
You can always put Autumn Unicorn in. It's a good, cheap, powerful.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going the beatdown route, sure.
We need something mid tier because we definitely want to get bigger creatures, but right now we're sitting at our lowest creatures 3, and that is the unicorn. I was thinking to myself, so we want to try to get around like the lands that you can't attack here or you can't pass here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking we could have Pudge and Nelly.
I could definitely see Nelly because she can move, but she has to be in a water site, right? She has to occupy a water site.
I don't think she has to.
Because
Well, you have to drown with them. That's true. If you want to use her ability, they have to be drowned. You can still bring them to you, but you have the choice to drown them. So she doesn't technically have to be on water. You could yank them to you, though.
So, what if we had Earth sites, right? And what if we turned them into water sites?
Like with floodplains?
Yes, because it affects 4 sites, right? So if we have to use Earth sites for the Geomancer's ability. But what happens if we can convert them to water later and use things like Nelly and Submerge to kind of keep people from coming too far in? You know what I mean?
So, are we thinking the auras, or are you thinking this one? It only turns 1 adjacent.
Well, that's exceptional and it's a water site, right? So we don't want to draw that land.
Right.
We want to have Earth in our hands, so we would need to use auras.
But don't the auras get rid of our threshold?
Yes, they
Our
do.
Earth is already pretty high, and we wouldn't want to accidentally mess it up.
That's what worries me about using That's what worries me about using Nelly and water and the helpful hob all together for the Geomancer specifically.
Okay, so we can go ranged instead of trying to force Nelly into the deck. We can go range. What are the other things that matter? Because there's the anti-projectile ones. There's the ones there's really something that counters everything. But what's the most usable and is the least likely to be stopped?
Realistically, it's sites that are least likely to be stopped, right? Because nobody's playing Hamlets Ablaze or Castles Ablaze or Year of the Storm, Year of the Fire, or whatever.
But what site would help you get around something like Dome of Osiris or Great Wall?
Well, realistically, we want to be able to have those lands, right? We want to be able to play them because we're just going to be playing extra lands anyway, right?
Right. So do you think we're just going to try to get up to them?
I think what we could do, I don't know, man. Like if we're playing the untapped Geomancer game, right? I think in order to do that,
fucking, we definitely need oh my god, I'm stupid.
Teleport?
No. Better than teleport. Because this would allow us to move Geomancer and Vivian without tapping them.
Yeah. Well, see, the reason that I was asking about the Avatar was because this type of deck seems like it would suit the Pathfinder very, very well.
I'm scared of Pathfinder.
I'm scared of Pathfinder as well. Like, terrified even. But at the same time, if you think about it, you can just untap the Pathfinder, move him to a site and put a new site there. So if you untap him 3 or 4 times, then you're just playing 3 or 4 lands.
Maybe that'll be
Instead
the
of-
next episode.
Instead of having like, I think we can try to make this work with Geomancer, but I think this might be better suited for the Pathfinder.
Okay, we can try that. Such a good card. I like this card a lot. I don't know if it fits in the deck, but I think it's a dope ass card.
Whirlwind moves something, right?
They.
Yes. So you can whirlwind the. This deck is it can be made basically about movement, right? So we can whirlwind the path or whirlwind the Geomancer to a new site so that he can tap or make a rubble.
Do you think Whirlwind's necessary since we already have Tactical Move?
Well, no, but I think that it could.
And also, Earthquake.
Yeah.
We could use Earthquake, and it's also a kill spell.
Yeah, Earthquake is a good card. We should definitely have that in there.
Oh, gander. Why is this in here? Oh, because it's everything. That's right.
Call to War gets us an exceptional, which Unicorn is it gets an exceptional mortal. My bad. Never mind.
I think Leprechaun. This is another one I was thinking about.
He's pretty good. I mean, we can just send him into kamikaze stuff.
Yeah, and he's cheaper, so that could be, I don't know about 4, but we'll put 4 for now.
Yeah.
So what are we sitting at? We got 34, 37, so we got 13 more cards to play with.
Lady Inuit's good. Isuit?
Yeah, it's allied minion too.
Yeah. So it basically, if Hob dies, it comes back to our hand. If Self-Same Simulacrum dies, we get to make it something else. Atlas Wonders is more movement.
Isn't self-same considered?
It doesn't
If
matter.
this is, it's actually a creature, so it does.
Yeah, it's a minion.
Okay.
It's also a fairy that I never noticed until now. Did you want to use the Fudge Butcher? Try to use the Fudge Butcher?
I mean, I love Fudge. I think it's a fantastic card. It might be immobile, but like, it basically denies an entire row of sites.
It's fair.
Good at zoning.
And if there's multiple, you can use Queen Guinevere to untap it and kill more stuff.
Does charge allow you to tap this?
Yes.
Charge is fire. But
Charges haste. Yeah, charges haste.
I don't know if I want 3. We'll think about putting 3.
You gonna put that big motherfucker in there?
No, because he won't allow us to untap.
We're not untapping. I mean, well, realistically, we want to untap the Geomancer.
Yeah. I don't know. I love him, but I don't know. Rift Valley might be effective.
Yes, it is effective for moving things.
What happens if we fill the board with and then shove rebels into each other, and there's like no space for it to go though?
Well,
you can play it on a rebel.
You can play it on a rubble, but does it have to move a void?
No, it splits. It says you may pull apart a partial roll or column.
So does rubble actually count toward that column or row?
I'm not sure because you can just play it on.
Oh, to make a void. So if there's not a void there, it looks like you can pull apart a partial row or column to make a void in which to play this.
Yeah.
So.
But what if it's full of?
I guess you
rubble?
can't. I mean, I guess you can't make a void there, right?
That would make sense to me. It sounds like it would be counter. It would counter itself. And maybe Rift Valley.
Now, does the rubble have to be next to the Geomancer?
Yes, the rubble has to be
I
adjacent.
think we did.
Gonna have Galahad for health.
Good, but he's air and earth. I guess he's fine. Yeah, but he's very intense on what you have to play, what you have to pay for him too, though.
You're talking about threshold wise or mana?
Threshold.
Yeah.
Where mana's not gonna matter. We're gonna have a lot of mana.
Yeah.
But his threshold is kind of wild because he's air. We have right now 3 air cards other than him, and I don't know how many air sites we're actually going to put in the deck.
Yeah.
Kind of the whole Queen Guinevere argument about 4 waters and the mix.
Yeah, but we can always put like a windmill in the triple because windmill will still proc Geo. The triple that includes water will still proc Geo.
Yeah.
And I mean, we might throw Grandmaster Wizard in this so Vivian can reproc it.
Because it doesn't matter where that guy is. So you still have standing stones in, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to try and take advantage of that for Vivian? Because if we're gonna try to take advantage of that, we should probably put more Genesis in.
More Genesis?
Yeah.
Let's fuck you for Genesis.
Genesis, I think.
Genesis?
Yeah.
Do we want to open it up to water and air?
Yeah, probably. Oh, hey, look, your bullfrog friend.
I think this is a cracked card. Because it swallows something, and I was thinking, like, you could teleport this over, and this is essentially a Shield of Aegis around it. You swing into something suicide, the next thing comes out, it's untapped. Beat the shit out of it.
Island Princess.
Do we...
No, because we only have one artifact. So definitely Hob, right? What do those sprites do again?
Yes.
Name a spell. Spells with that name can't be cast until your next turn. That's not going to do anything.
I need to reread this. Next beast.
She's a spellcaster.
I'm not lady.
Yes. Do it.
Use her to revive Vivian.
Use her to revive Vivian, and then to revive something else and shuffle Vivian back in if we need to. Because Vivian would have her abilities when it came into play. She's a spellcaster.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could double proc it. So
I don't know why you would, but...
So we could use it to get Vivian back onto the board, and then Vivian could bring back... I think he's... What is he considered? He's a fairy. So we'd be able to get Sir Galahad back. Or we'd be able to get
Queen
4...
of Midland.
And yeah, Queen of Midland, and then 4 waters for Aqua.
Yeah.
If we so needed.
And that is any artifact, so it doesn't even have to be those. Like we can go for other things.
Think we should put Titan in?
Are we gonna summon it to our own lands?
Yeah. It's just it's a good defensive.
Yeah, I mean we need bigger stuff. We need stuff that we can fight with.
There's one thing I don't like about this mode, is that it doesn't show you the graph at the bottom. Okay, so we're high early. So we have good early to mid. We have turn 1 plays up to 4. We got 5, no 6s. And how many are we on? 25, 35, 42.
It'll tell you down at the bottom. Yeah, hop down. 45 spellbook and 16 atlas.
So we have room for 5. And then we can play around with the numbers. So we want more bigger stuff. I mean, we have a bunch of 5s.
Yeah, but I'm kind of concerned about the threshold we have to have. The earth threshold we have to have. So we're not going to be able to put in the massive numbers of towers to make sure that we have the ramp. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely need that.
This is the first time I've ever included those into one of the decks I've made.
The Philosopher's Stone and the Onyx Core?
Yeah.
Didn't you play them like in the deck that you like built to start out?
You talk about March of the Mortals?
Huh?
About
yeah, well that, but the first decks that we played, you had them in there too.
I think I was playing the deck I took to March of Mortals when we first started.
Do we want the Aquamarine Core too?
Maybe. Do we need to put Island Princess in now?
Yeah, I think if those are gonna be in there, then that's probably safe to put her in.
It's ways to guarantee we're getting where we need to be.
It puts us at 49.
Yeah, we can still play with like Leprechaun. I don't think we're gonna want 4.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna want 4 Leprechaun. We may not even want the unicorns actually. They're beat stick, but they seem to. If we can find better stuff that we can take advantage of,
Yeah.
the other things in the deck, I think.
We'll leave them there for now if we find something else.
Yeah, we'll edit them as we go.
Still looking at Genesis. Do we still want to be looking at Genesis?
I mean, we're really looking at. Man, I don't know, because if we're looking at standing stones, like that's putting a lot of emphasis on standing stones.
Yeah, and it's only 2 cards in your deck, so.
Yeah, we don't have crossroads on the deck either.
Let's go back down to where we were.
Pillar is an earth card, right? Earth threshold.
Pillar
of zeros or whatever.
Yeah, the one that heals you. Yeah, it's Earth.
Yeah, that needs to go in for sure. For sure. What is swarming mass?
It's when
Whenever
something
minion
dies
around
next
it.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would want to use this card, but it'd have to be like token mortal deck or something. I don't know. Frogs, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't do frogs because it would have to gain its power.
Probably do it with zombies. Because they keep coming back whenever something dies. There was something that disabled mortals.
Talking about the site
Yeah.
turns them all into beast, which it would affect Vivian as well.
Yeah. No, we don't want to do that.
Tithe.
That's a good one, yeah. That's 50. Do we want to try to keep it at 50?
Yeah, we'll keep it at 50, but we can look around for something to replace these.
The leprechaun and the unicorn.
Yeah. 25 do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of them are actually strong though? Galahad, he's strong.
Atlas Wonders.
So we only really have 5 minions that are actually huge. Conquering one, dude.
Yeah. If we're ramping, that's a card to put in.
Take a peek at water and air. This can be a win condition, or
What does Atlantean Fate do? I think it submerges everything.
it's
and,
basically it's basically earthquakes, water earthquake, except it I don't think it changes. Yeah, it changes things to water sites. It's not a bad card. Like we could use it on their side of the field and hinder them from having their threshold.
What does Band of Thieves do?
They're just stealth.
Oh, well, we made it to the Grandmaster Wizard and you didn't say anything about it.
We don't have card draw. I was just about to say that out loud. So we can remove these, 2 of these, and then Unlikely Alliance. Should have just typed it in. Smaller guy, self-revival, pop. And I'm fat. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big ass creatures.
Upwelling. How do you feel about that?
I feel like we'd rather just use Changeling because people don't really people shouldn't stack minions on a site. I'm trying to look at this too. These are common sense is necessary. Tactical move is helpful, but do we need 4?
Probably not. Probably not 4 because you can't really take advantage of 4. I mean, unless you're using things like the Conqueror Worm to do things. In which case, it seems like a win more card.
So we can do 3, you think? 3, get away with 3?
I think 2 or 3 is probably a fair number.
So let's look at this. So Conqueror Worm utilizes it. Vivian and our Geomancer utilizes it.
Yeah.
How
Nothing
does this
else
work?
does.
It's Genesis.
Yeah.
Can't use Pudge with it. So 3 cards really only utilize it.
Yeah.
So we can take it down to 2. So we can put like Lord of the Void to prevent them.
Voidwalk minion.
Yeah, but Lord of the Void is the one that banishes their sites.
Yeah.
So we can lean more into trying to hinder them, or here, let's look at the left. We're kind of lackluster at 3, but I mean, we have a lot of 2s. But those are some of the really powerful spells as well. 1s and 2s. 3's a little lackluster, and we're a little shy on the end. I think cheaper, bigger guys would benefit because the highest power here is Lady of the Lake and then Butcher, and then we have to jump to 5 mana to get him, and then even higher to get our biggest.
How's our life total gonna look here?
Life total is a resource, man.
Yeah, but how do you think it's gonna look? Do you think we're gonna combat with our opponent, or do you think we're gonna run from our opponent in the early game?
We would probably try to get Geomancer to move around a little bit. He'll sit still for a little bit to get the rebels around him, and then we don't really want Geomancer anywhere near them necessarily. We would just kind of want to fill the board with him.
Right.
I feel like we're hurting in power early on. When we get to 5, that's when we start to get closer. But even then, it's only Galahad and Atlas Wanderer. And Pudge is a good cheap. So I'm thinking like Castle Haunt.
What about Questing Beast?
That's the serpent-headed one, right?
Yeah. She just typed it in again.
Yeah.
It's a 4 power 5, or it's a 5 power 5 cost.
It's got lethal,
Yeah.
and he gets to move around freely.
It's still at the 5 cost though. To be fair, I don't know if Lady of the Lake is actually needed now that we look at it either. I love this card. I'm gonna find a way to use this card, but I don't know if it's good for this deck.
I can feel that because the only real reason we'd use it is these 2.
Or the Queen. For whatever reason, but still.
So now we're lackluster in the middle department. I think Castle Haunt.
Are there any spells that untap allies?
I don't think so. I think we did this the other night where we were looking through Untapped, and basically the only thing was Hob. So we can do Castle Haunt. I don't know Earthwise. Besides like Unicorn.
The Unicorn is a decent card. It's just, are we spending a turn to put a 4 power vanilla creature into play?
It's just for early game, like more defensive, right?
So it's just gonna sit in our hand if we want to play something like a Helpful Hob or a self-same Simulacrum.
True.
I think the biggest question we would have to ask is this card going to take the place of a different card? Like if we play this card, if we're like looking at our hand, are we going to play this card over a Kettletop Leprechaun? I think we would play this card over a Kettletop Leprechaun because the Leprechaun has to die for you to draw the site, right?
Right.
So I think it's better than Kettletop Leprechaun, but I don't think it's better than Lady Issued on the same turn.
So you think we'd pop out Kettle?
I think we could probably pop out Kettle because we don't have good ways to kill things, right? So reliably, we don't have a way to stop. We don't have a way to trigger this, right?
Right.
So like, is this card better? I don't think this card is better than the Helpful Hob, in any
Right.
circumstance, because anytime we can play the helpful hob to untap the Geomancer, we're probably going to do it.
Yeah.
The
But-
same is true for self-same simulacrum, because we're probably going to bring it into play as a copy of helpful hob to untap the.
Right. But if we have them both in our hand and we don't, and we're on turn 3, we haven't ramped it all, and we don't have mix, then he comes into play.
Potentially, yeah, for sure.
So that's 50.
Are you happy with that?
I feel like the
I
bigger.
feel like it's missing something.
Yeah, I feel.
I feel like it's missing direction, right? I know we want to ramp, but we don't have a real game plan other than ramp. So, like, what do we do once we've ramped?
Big creatures. Or
So we have.
we can machine
so-
gun.
Well, hop down. Hop down. So you see those 6 cards there?
Yeah.
Down there? That's the opening hand, right? So what can we do with that hand? First turn, we can play the Aqueduct, right? And we can play the Mix Aqua.
Yeah, we play mix and helpful hop.
No, then second turn, we play a land. We use the ability to make the Rebel or whatever, and then we play the Helpful Hob off of the Mix Aqua, and then we tap the Geomancer again, and we've ramped, so now we're at 3 lands on turn 2.
Yeah.
And one of those lands is on top of our deck. So draw a site and see what the next land would have been. So we're on 3 Earth sites there.
Yeah.
And then we don't draw anything for turns. So what is the next 4 spells gonna be? Because it would take us probably that. Yeah. So I mean, we would be able to play the Atlas Wanderers pretty easily.
Yeah.
But would we want to?
Just to have them out, yeah. I mean, we can start moving stuff around.
And then Aqueduct, that doesn't give us air, so we're missing air threshold there. We didn't put but like 1, 2, 3 air cards or air lands in the
Yeah,
deck so far. So.
We still got 16 to go, or 13.
Yeah. Okay. We want the windmills for sure.
Is there another bigger creature we can replace Titan with?
The flying one.
Which one's the flying?
I think it's a fairy. I can't remember its name from Alpha Beta. It's like 6 cost or something. It's a 6 cost, 5 power. And you discard a spell to deal 3 damage to something here.
6 power.
Nimbus Gen.
I don't know. I don't want to discard cards. I feel like a discardy deck. Nightmare is completely useless if we play Star Seeds. He's a big guy, but enemy minion too. So we couldn't use him to like force movement on ourselves.
There's always your least favorite card in the game.
That. There is one combo I thought about though that would actually make him useful.
What is it?
The giant that
The
makes
giant
everything
and then
stay
Puppet
down.
Master.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a terrible thing, but you'd have to use the. Why is the giant on? The giant goes against everything we stand for here.
Yeah, and the giant would also have to die for you to untap and then be able to use the minions for the Puppet Master too. So it's still bad. With the additional mana that we're going to be ramping, we can use Arcane Barrage. It's just that it's 3 air threshold. I don't know if we should lean toward that.
I don't know. It's for the deck to function. We're gonna need a lot of Earth threshold. We're gonna need a lot of Earth sites.
Makes Highland Princess kind of hard too.
Yeah, I think Princess, as much as she could be helpful, it's a situation where we don't know what to do in that situation.
So do we add another fatty in there? Is that what you're saying?
I think we add Parzival.
The knight.
Yeah, I think his threshold helps it. Parzival. He is air and earth, yeah, and he's a 4/5 for 4. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't know. His ability doesn't really function with the rest of it, but he is strong.
Well, so the way that I'm looking at it, right? We have a lot of movement.
Yeah.
You have tactical move. You have earthquake. You have those 2 cards are it. But
There's
at the same,
also Atlas Wonder.
Yeah, Atlas Wonder. So like you have a lot of movement to kind of take advantage of it once, but the more sites show up, you lose that advantage.
Yeah.
So I can see why we would double check it or not think about it. It just seems like we want to have a couple of cards that kind of get people out of nowhere.
Something like a surprise.
Yeah, like we want like like just a weird thing that we can do that they'll never expect. You know what I mean? Like a big card that is hard to answer.
Dude, that water creature that doesn't die to non-lethal.
Yeah, that's a good one. And we are looking to be heavy into water.
Can't remember its name.
It's a basilisk of some sort. Water fish. Pretty sure it's basilisk, right? Some kind of basilisk.
I'm not sure.
It's a water elite. There it is. Go back up. Serpent. Down. Past it. There it is. 0/1 Hydra. 6 cost 6 power. Seems pretty good, but we have to. It's contesting with Grandmaster Wizard, Ratnus Titan, Conqueror Worm. And that's 50, but that also leaves 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. That leaves 8 big creatures. 9, 10 if you count Pudge.
1/5 of the deck, maybe. That's okay. So our early game, we have Pudge and Autonomy, and took away our turn 1 ability, but I guess Philosopher's Stone, Aquaporn, all them work.
How do you feel about that shapeshift right there?
Yeah, because
They're
after
gonna hit something
Hob,
big, right?
yeah, and after Hob is in play,
He's useless.
Yeah, he's useless afterward.
No, we're still getting off track though.
Why?
Realistically, that could hit something big, but it could also waste a turn
True.
if we don't hit something big. Chances are you're going to hit something big.
We can put that water land in that allows you to grab from the bottom as well.
Like drawing from the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know if it forces you to though.
No, there's a fairy that comes into play and draws you a card from the bottom of your deck.
We're sitting at 50, so if we're gonna add something, we'd have to remove something.
Yeah. As much as the Browse, as good as Browse is, 3 air threshold seems almost impossible for us.
True. And if we have to, we can remove a berry, considering we have 4 common sense.
Yeah, we can remove a berry for sure. We don't need 4 because we're gonna be able to find others. So how many? That leads me to the next question, right? How many common sense, or how valuable is common sense for us?
So we can grab a turn 2 with it. Hobbs if we never find them, and then we can get berry. Tactical move. So I mean, being able to get a tactical move is, if it's desperate, that's pretty good. And it's cheap as fuck, right? It's because common sense, there'd be 4 mana to do a huge play. Okay, so we're missing 2 now. We don't have any turn 1s besides Green Quest. Well, I mean, I guess we have plenty. And all of these are effective no matter what, essentially.
Yeah.
So we can leave turn 1s alone. We can either add, because we're solid on minions, right? We got 26 minions. Half our deck is minions.
So. Yeah, I think we're good on the creature front.
We can look at auras and magics or artifacts. You can use Greater Rise.
We have to discard a site for that, though.
It is true, but
hear me out.
It does fat damage, destroys one of their lands, and it could be used as a win condition, and it leans into Earth.
You're not wrong. That is a big spell. That is something that could help. Yeah, I think I think we can give it a try. And it's elite, so you can put 2 in.
And that's I mean, we ramp, but 8 is not impossible. And it gives us more big boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's work on our land base.
Okay. So we need windmills.
Windmill. So, the fire. So, damn, I wish they had that little interface that showed you. I'm so used to using the other ones, I'm used to seeing it.
Quagmire disables things around it, right?
Yeah. Let's keep looking first. Here's the tunnel. We don't really necessarily need that. We don't have the thing that says if a mortal died this turn anymore, right?
Huh?
No. I thought we had something that said like, yeah, it was the keening fancy.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't leave that in.
So we don't need any simple villages or anything like that.
Lighthouse. No, never mind. That's not an Earth site. We want a critical mass of Earth sites, I think, for just the purposes of the Geomancer.
So it looks like Quagmire is probably good. But it's all right until your next turn. Units are immobile.
Units are immobile while they occupy nearby sites, so they just can't move.
Yeah, it would kind of suck to flip this over though, and it hurt us.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have anything with charge, right?
No.
That is a good defensive land. It is also Earth. Make it to where they can't attack you when they come into play. We already have the brambles. We have the thicket. Game line. Yeah. Holy ground's probably pretty good because we're probably going to take a little bit of damage if we're moving.
Is it enemies?
Units with 3 or more power. Still might not be a bad card to have.
I don't know.
Yeah. Not using any fire.
I don't have any beast at all.
Unicorn is a beast, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, Unicorn I think is a beast, and then the Hydra I think is a beast too.
Monster.
That's a good card. The worm thing, that thing. It's unique, but opponents can't affect cards in your cemetery, so like their pillars don't do anything against you. Not that it matters in a deck like this, but it is an Earth site.
I really don't want to put villages in, but I mean they would be turn 1 defense type shit.
Probably wouldn't hurt to have at least 1 or 3, because on the off chance that you do get to start off early, you just get to start with a creature. That's 30 and 50.
We're low on water.
Yeah.
What's the threshold? Maximum 2.
The max we can have is 4 out at one time.
Do we need standing stones? Cause like
I don't think so. No, not with Isn't there? There should be a good. I think there was a good one. Oh. That one disables them, and the other one makes them immobile. Yeah, so that one makes them immobile. The other one over there disables them, and then you have an Earth one that makes them immobile as well. What is that one? Not that one, the other one.
this one?
That one, yeah.
It's for beast.
Okay.
It would, if we drew this and then also had the unicorn, we could put the unicorn out on turn 2. That's the only thing it would work with. Summon 3, summon frogs. No reason for that.
What is that troll that thing?
I mean,
It's a defensive land.
we're missing 2, right?
Yeah. But honestly for Hob to be effective, we need him on turn 4. We need him on turn 3 or turn 4, so we need to have more water threshold. And I think we need more water threshold than we need air threshold, to be honest. So I think a tower can come out to try and make room for, or 2 towers can come out to try and make room for.
I'm also looking at Geistwood.
It doesn't do anything for us here.
was a good idea, but the only thing it affects is helpful Hob.
Yeah.
I mean, if Grandmaster Wizard were to die on it, that'd be cool.
Within this body of water.
So we had like a river essentially, just like multiple lands that are water in a row. We could use this to move Geomancer or Vivian.
Yeah. And the Maelstrom is a good way to do that too. But you have to have, it's based on water sites, right? So you have to have a bunch of water connected to each other for it to be a body of water.
Just another version of that other one. I mean, we could use this.
It wouldn't hurt to use a couple just because manipulating the top of your deck is something it's almost as good as drawing cards in some cases. So where does that put us in terms of 18% of resources are blue, 18% of resources are air, and 63% of resources are earth. I think that's probably a safe number for now. Because like look down at the hand. So you've got air, you've got earth, and you've got water. And a 4 waters. So turn 1 I'm playing that Crying Gale or whatever. And turn 2 I'm playing Common Sense to go find Hob. And then turn 3 I'm playing 4 waters, then playing Hob and playing an extra land.
So we draw a spell. We draw a spell.
My concern is that we eventually run out of sites, right? So you don't play any earth sites to have the rubble ability.
Yeah, this is a great starting hand.
It is. It really is. That's a turn 3 Hob. The last hand was.
Yeah.
That's a great hand too. That's a turn 3 Grandmaster Wizard. 4 waters.
Yeah.
It's a turn 3 Retinous Titan too. Titties.
Yeah. This is not such a good hand, but I mean.
No, I actually think the mixed aquas are bad.
Why is that?
We have 6 aqua spells in the entire deck.
Okay.
I think we could replace it with mix earth, mix terra.
Okay.
Because we're gonna enjoy playing earth spells much more than water spells, and it'll get more use for us that way because we will be able to play more.
Yeah, we also have 4 waters, and either stone adds mana, getting us closer to Hob. Philosopher's Stone helps with Hob. So
Yeah. And we are playing quite a few heavy mana earth cards.
yeah.
Now, to be fair, it is also a second turn Vivian if you have mixed terra out too, because Vivian is earth.
Yeah. And then looking at a mixture, we still have 18. These are low now, yeah.
Yeah, but they're low on purpose, right? They're just splashes, so you don't really need all of the lands or more of the lands to have that, because all of your threshold for air is 1 threshold for air, 2 threshold for air, right? And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands that do that, so 20% of your deck or 20% of your mana base is blue source somehow, the water source, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we pull out a
7.
tower and add a lighthouse.
For air?
A lighthouse is water and air.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Oh, I'm stupid. I was reading this backward, so we don't really have to do that because they were above.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like the resources that we have are probably abundant because we had 7 blue sources or 7 air sources and 6 water sources total. So 20% and 20% and it says 17% there are going to be those. So say we flip over cards, well, 1 out of every 5 that we flip over is going to have a water or an air symbol on it, and that's not even counting the ones that we draw on purpose. So if we start off with 3, realistically, statistically, we would have within 3 turns we would have an air and a water resource.
Yeah, with
And there
this
you
right
have
here,
both.
we literally have like every resource to play
Anything in
almost
anything
everything
in
in
the
the
game.
deck.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I don't think those are wildly necessary to change up too much.
Yeah. Do I put the lone tower back in, or are we gonna leave the lighthouse?
No, I think having the extra threshold is fine, but I mean, we're only gonna get that ramp every once in a while anyway. So
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our cards don't give us Earth. Is that
Yeah.
acceptable?
I think so, because that's still
It's still less
it's
than
over
a third.
60%. Yeah, it's still 60% of your deck is going to give you Earth. So you can just play the Earth sites and flip the water sites effectively. So like this is a first turn first turn Briar Patch plus a you know what I'm talking about. First turn Briar Patch plus a Rubble. The next turn we either play the dude on the Rubble or play the land on the Rubble, or we play on the other side and try to get more Rubble, or have 3 mana and play a berry or something. But see, in this situation we don't have any water, and the self-claimed Simulacrum is just sitting there doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as you see, within 5 cards we have hit a water threshold. That's a bad hand. Yeah. That one took a little bit longer at 7 cards, 7 lands to draw.
5.
Oh yeah. So that was within drawing 3. You had every threshold you needed.
Yeah, but this is only 1 water. You would need a second. Air, we got air, so we could Dream Quest.
And then search for whatever you wanted. Hey look, the card we'd probably search for. There you go.
It would work, and then what would we common sense into? We'd probably just, that's not any water though.
You common sense into Kettletop, probably.
Yeah, help us draw some lands.
Yeah.
Oops, I meant to draw some.
That's a mix, and that's a second turn Vivian, so we're ramping then too. Remember, you're at this point, if you get a second turn Vivian, it has all of the abilities of your avatar. So you're playing a site, and then you're making a Rubble, and then you're playing a site with your avatar, and you're making a Rubble. So that mix and that Vivian in your hand is ramp in and of itself.
Right. But she'll be summoning sickness, so we just have to wait till next turn.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Should be a pretty good hand to get.
Yeah, double Earth, double water, plus a Unicorn on turn 3.
Good kill spell.
Probably fine.
Get to search. Bang big creature.
Yeah.
Get to kill something. Get to do it again. Oh, big creature.
Yeah.
Surprised how many they let you do. You think it's solid?
I think we could test it. I think it needs to be tested for sure, because we won't know until we play it.
Right.
But I think we should get some opinions from some of the people that are watching too.
And that falls on you, nerds. Test our deck, bro. Geo dudes, bro. It's up right now, bro.
I think I would like to do the next one as a Pathfinder kind of build.
Okay.
Because I don't like the Pathfinder, but I have an idea for it that I think it'll build on this idea a lot.
Alright. I guess that's the end of this video. You should play the deck. Suggestions too. I mean,
Yeah.
come in that comment section, bro. I read every comment. So.
What should we build around? Give us a card to build around. Make a challenge.
Yeah.
We're bad at the game, but we'll try.
Just, yeah. I had fun making this deck. This is just about the most thought I put in it as the first Geomancer deck I played against you, and I love the shit out of that deck, but now it's no longer useful because it's out of
Only alpha
date.
beta. Yeah.
It's also 40/20.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was on my my Curiosa and it was like, you have a bunch of works in progress. And I was like, no, these were complete decks. Come on.
Hell yeah. I guess we'll see you in the next one. Tell me if you liked the video.
Yeah.